Hello, Humany viewers! So one of my lesser known hobbies is that I like keeping tabs on the trends of popular baby names in the United States, like which names are rising into fashion and which names are falling out of fashion, all that stuff, which is a very niche thing to be interested in. But anyway, if you go to one of my other YouTube channels, Abacaba, talking about this like baby name subject is actually the oldest video I ever uploaded to that YouTube channel. I made it back in high school, so that's how you know it's super old. But I think the video sort of explains itself. The size of each bubble corresponds to how popular that baby name was on that given year in the United States. Now, some of you viewers might already be super familiar with this project because I've already talked about it multiple times on the CarrieKH YouTube channel and Humany and LazyKH. So you might be thinking like, Carrie, I already know about this project. You don't need to drill it into the ground. Maybe you're curious, like, if this is a 2015 project, why am I talking about it again in the fresh year of 2022? Well, there is something new happening. So, the Social Security Administration, as a government agency, they release the data set for the top baby names of any given year around early to mid-May of the next year. Now, since it's April of 2022 right now, they have not yet released the data set for the top baby names of 2021, but they will in the next month or so. So the reason why this is interesting is because there's this other website called BehindTheName.com, which is sort of like a Wikipedia for baby names. You can search up any name, like my name, Carrie, and you can see a graph showing how popular it was over time and that it was most popular in the 1960s, but you can also read information about it and read people's comments on their opinions of the name. But they also host this thing called the prediction game, which is what I want to talk about. Basically, before the data dump happens in early May, anybody on the internet is free to submit their predictions on what they think the top 10 boys' names and top 10 girls' names will be for that year. And then when the data set comes out, whoever guesses the closest gets a $100 Amazon gift card. And you can read the exact instructions up there. So the reason I'm making this video is because I want to invite anybody watching right now to participate with me, and you can kind of compete against me and see whether you beat me or like I beat you, because I'm also going to participate, but I'm not going to show you what my predictions are, so that way, like, you know, I don't want you to just copy me. I want you to try to beat me. So one reason why I feel like I have a little bit of personal stake in 2021's predictions is that if you go to the scores for 2020, which is last year, which is like predictions people made 12 months ago, look at that leaderboard. Somehow, by some fluke of like random luck, I tied for first place. See, that's me, CarrieKH. So me and Scorb both got 174 points out of 200, which means that, for me at least, I got 9 of the top 10 boys' names correct, and 7 of the top 10 girls' names correct. I wasn't expecting to win. Like, I don't think I have some like special knowledge that people don't have. Huge thank you to the Behind the Name website owners for following through and giving me this Amazon gift card, because the competition was really fun, and to win a prize for it all is just a cherry on top. But I also feel like it means that I almost have this title to defend where like I am the reigning champion of the prediction game, and in 2021 I'm going to try again. And if I don't get first place, it means that I've slipped down the leaderboard. I know that no one really takes it that seriously, but I still think it's like a fun thing to try to defend. Yeah, so this is open for you to post your own predictions to. The links will be in the description. Only participate if you actually care about baby trends. I don't want a ton of people to just spam this website with random junk predictions, because that just wouldn't be fun for the website owner. You know, try to actually study stuff. So like one good starting point is to look at the popular baby names of 2020, and culturally, if you don't think that much changed between 2020 and 2021, you can pretty much just go with the same list of the top 10s, because it's not going to change too drastically. I don't want to give away all my secrets though, so that's all I'll say. The other thing I wanted to mention is that there's this subreddit called r/name nerds, which is like full of baby name enthusiasts. Both people who kind of are also interested in these like trends and stuff, like the data sets, but also people who are just interested in like the aesthetics of baby names and, you know, what their favorite baby name pick would be for a future child when they have a family, or maybe a past child if they've already had a family. So it has a very wide diversity of enthusiasts here. The reason why I want to talk about it in this video is because I found this post, which is a census of the people who frequent this subreddit the most. And they just ask people, you know, what's your age and what's your gender? And they posted the results here. And the age demographics, you know, they're not too surprising. People on Reddit are typically in their 20s. That kind of makes sense to me. But what did surprise me was the gender breakdown. Because if you add everything up, over 90% of the people on this subreddit are women. And I guess that's not too surprising, because I can imagine a lot of expectant mothers are kind of eager to figure out what they want to name their child. And it's just sort of a general trend that mothers think about this more than fathers for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's just how the cards fall. But the reason why I think this is interesting is because I'm also on this subreddit, because, you know, I guess I like doing this prediction stuff. But some of the circles that I run into on the internet are very much in the other direction. So like when I made all the videos about computer science and AI, like this video on computer evolving to generate Baroque music, and this was like 5 years ago, when I was like super gung-ho into Stanford computer science, tech bro, artificial intelligence, neural network stuff. If you look at the analytics of these videos I made, it's about like 92% male and 8% female, which, you know, isn't what I would have wanted. And like, you know, I hope my content isn't like pushing away women for any reason. But I think it's just sort of how the cards fall, that like computer science is very male dominated. So, you know, it makes sense that the audience would be like that. But it sort of made me think, oh, maybe I just run in the same circles as men more. That's clearly not true. So I have some hobbies that do lean male, and I also have some hobbies that do lean female. And I think that's really cool. It means that I get to see, you know, two different circles, two different sides of the internet, which is pretty cool. I know that on TikTok, I was surprised because TikTok tells me that my followers are like 61% female, which I think is really cool. But I also wonder how they get that data, because TikTok famously does not ask its users what their gender is. So they're just guessing, I think. Like they're just using kind of some sort of algorithm based on the account's habits to figure it out, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if TikTok knows that I'm male, but maybe they don't. And then there's also about, I'm trying to do math here, 2 or 3% non-binary, which is really cool that they included that. Yeah, I like these censuses because it just gives you a sense of like, who am I talking to? A lot of times when you post on a subreddit and you see all these comments like, you don't know, like they could be like 90-year-old grandparents, maybe they're like 5-year-old babies. Well, they're probably not 5-year-olds, but you know what I mean. Now I have a little better of a picture. Anyway, back to the prediction game. I have not submitted my prediction for 2021 yet, but I'm gonna do it in the next few days, because whenever the data dump comes out, that definitely closes the gates for anyone to submit, and I don't want to be too late. And I do have, I was going to show you, a spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet I've already included some of my like mathematical analysis for 2021's predictions, but I don't want to show that to you. But this stuff is for last year. This is 2020, and you can see I did all this stuff with like scraping data from the website. I made all these graphs to try to figure out what was a trend and what was just a fluke, and try to predict the future. And maybe I went more gung-ho than anyone else, which is why I tied for first place. I mean, I don't know if Score went this intense. Maybe like they just have a better intuition, or maybe they also did all this analysis. I sort of did the same for 2021, but I will say, looking at the data set, it looks like it's going to be a tighter race. So it's harder to just use a math to predict. You can also use everyday life experiences to try to figure it out, because if you run in a lot of circles where there are people who are having lots of babies, you might have realized like, whoa, I know 5 friends who all named their baby Mayonnaise Face. Like that is a sign to me that Mayonnaise Face is rising really fast, even if the data set doesn't show that yet. So I don't have much of that experience, but if you did, you would probably get a better indicator for 2021 specific events. Because these sort of like mathematical approaches will never account for like cultural shifts or large events in pop culture that happen out of the blue. There's no way you could predict what big movies in 2021 or celebrity babies are going to shift the baby name trends in 2021. Anyway, yeah, the thesis of this video is go fill out the prediction game if you want to compete with me. It's just a fun little game. You know, if you win, hooray! If you get 0 out of 10, that's okay. There's no stakes. I just think it'll be really fun. Okay, bye everyone.